Welcome to Give Me 5 minutes with Fort Smith City Director Neil Martin, where we talk about the events that happened last week and we look ahead to what's going on this week. So let's get after it. Give me 5.
Hey everybody, that was Eli. He's my 19-year-old son, and I appreciate him doing the Give Me 5 intro. So let's go ahead and look at last week. On the 28th, we had a study session, and we talked about our regularly scheduled meetings in 2024, but a majority of our time was spent talking about capital improvement plans. We talked about the CIP for IT, for solid waste, police. Most of the time was spent around the CIP for water, sewer, non-consent decree, and sewer consent decree. A lot of discussion around the water CIP, and I encourage you to go back and watch that. There are, obviously, the 48-inch transmission line is one of the big things that we're doing with water. But right now on that capital improvement plan, that 10-year capital improvement plan for water only, $478 million. We're looking at rate study right now, but there's a lot of money with all three of these for water, wastewater consent decree, and non-consent decree. $1.1 billion. And there's just a lot of things. So I encourage you to go to fortsmithar.gov/watch and see that so you can be educated and aware of what's going on around water. So we'll talk about it more as we go forward, but I just wanted you to be aware of that there's a lot of discussion around water. So that was our meeting on the 28th, and I encourage you to just pay attention to all those items. The next 2 weeks are very busy. I'll talk about that in just a second. But we have a meeting this Tuesday on December 5th at the Blue Line. That's 101 North 2nd Street, downtown Fort Smith. That's where we meet for all of our meetings. A number of very important things on the agenda. First off, there is an agreement, or we will be voting for an agreement for a third-party review of the Fort Smith Animal Haven audit. I don't know why this is coming, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of discussion about this. So I encourage you to watch that. We'll be approving the goals for 2024 that we set at our strategic workshop earlier this year. We've got there's like a $22 million contract with Vortex Services for sanitary sewer assessment remedial measures. So it's a big contract, a lot of questions. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be voting to approve a contract with Daly & Woods, which is the city attorney. They've been our city attorney for a number of years, but we'll be approving an extension of that. Bids were put out, or bids were taken for anybody else that wanted to handle legal services for the city. And Daly & Woods is the only respondent. We'll be voting to accept a bid and authorize a contract for street overlays. Now, I love street overlays. This will be overlaying Grand Avenue from Albert Pike to 32nd Street, Veterans Avenue over in Chaffee Crossing, Old Greenwood from Phoenix to Cliff Drive. And so these are some resurfacings that should make those roads a whole lot smoother. I know those are heavily traveled roads, so we're excited about that. But those are just a few of the items that are on the agenda on Tuesday. I encourage you to go to fortsmithar.gov. You can see the full agenda. You can watch any previous meeting. You can see how your directors voted on any item. So I encourage you to do that. We also will be meeting on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and also Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I can't remember, next week, to go over the 2024 budget. So we've got budget hearings going on this week. Next week, it's going to be a very busy week. All these meetings will be at the Blue Line. So if you want to come and listen to some of the discussion around the 2024 budget, I encourage you to do that. We'll be there starting at 6 o'clock every night. So busy week, a lot of things going on. I encourage you to pay attention and reach out to me if you've got any questions. That's it for this week's Give Me 5. I hope the information was informative. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it made you better aware of the items that are in front of your board of directors. Let's all have a great week, and we'll do this again next Sunday on Gimme 5.